So today we talk Geophysic. Geophysic is a new collection of O'clock. Who never dreamt of a classic round watch that will call the attention and that will be recognizable immediately? Well, that's the challenge we set ourselves many years ago when we started to work on this new collection. We could rely on all the know-how of O'clock that we gathered over the last 108 years, but also more specifically of all what we've learned when we created the Ibris Mechanica and Ibris Artistica collection. So in terms of design, this new collection can rely on all the creativity of O'clock, and also in terms of watchmaking, we integrated many innovative complications that are inside the watch and that makes it quite unique. The first element on the new Geophysic that calls the attention is the true second. The true second is the modern version of a traditional complication that the watchmakers call the deadbeat seconds. Deadbeat seconds is considered as the ancestor of the chronograph and allow to really measure the seconds. The true second relies on a quite complex and sophisticated watchmaking complication, and among them an additional hairspring that will gather the information coming from the escapement and that will be released every second in order to display the true second on the front of the watch. A second element in the movement that connoisseur will appreciate is the new gyro lab. The new gyro lab is the new balance wheel of O'clock. The name being coming from gyro, which means turning, like the gyro tourbillon, and lab because it's been designed and used for the first time in the Master Compressor Extreme Lab 1. This new balance actually has a much better quality factor than the traditional balance wheel, and this allows watchmakers then to adjust the watch with the greatest precision. The new gyro lab has a shape which recalls the traditional logo of O'clock, the GL, that is also placed on the new segment that winds the automatic movement. All the aesthetics have been carefully worked to integrate the sophistication and the finishing of a high-end case in a new stainless steel watch. Also on the front, you can appreciate the new details of the watch, like the new index that allows to have a perfect readability of the watch. So the surface of the indexes has been worked so that it catches the light from all the directions. The hands also have been designed in a traditional way, but with the three facets that will also catch the light from all the directions. And the classic finishing of the dial is a silver finishing with a finely grained so that it contrasts very well with the hands and the indexes. In order not to disturb this elegant and classic design, the super luminova, so the luminescent material, have been placed like the original Geophysic from 1958 on the outside of the dial, so directly under the bezel that holds the crystal of the watch and will be visible only at night. Another feature that one will appreciate is the travel time. So it's not a function which is directly visible, but once you wear the watch, actually you can adjust the hours when you travel through the time zones, forwards or backwards, no matter in which direction you're traveling, without stopping the movement, without losing the precision of the seconds and the minutes. And that will allow you to travel through the time zones without losing the high precision of the watch, and the date will follow you in your traveling by changing forwards or backwards depending in which direction you're going. The new Geophysic True Second is a watch which is full of surprise, a perfect blend between high watchmaking innovation and classic design that will reveal itself over time. It perfectly reflects the philosophy of O'clock and the ability to create exciting classic watches. The second model of this new collection is the Geophysic Universal Time. It's a universal time that is quite different from all the existing universal time. Once adjusted, there's no need to readjust it when you travel to a new time zones. In effect, thanks to the travel time function that allows to set the hours separately from all the other functions, you can travel across the time zones readjust the time where you are arriving to without changing the world time. The new models of the Geophysic collection will exist in stainless steel, but also in pink gold, like the universal time. On the dial of the universal time, one will appreciate the work that has been performed to achieve this beautifully decorated dial. The continents are in relief and the oceans are filled with a blue translucid color. And the cities which are displayed around the dial are corresponding to the continents which are on top of the dial. The true second also exists in a pink gold and will share with the stainless steel model all the technical and aesthetical characteristics. Simplicity with a hidden complexity, precision and mastery, those are the key elements that will reveal themselves over time in the new Geophysic, a new world that we now invite you to discover.